people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny skies this morning with afternoon cloud cover and a very slim chance of a pop-up shower. It will be a bit warm. We'll top out near 91, south winds at 10. Overnight mainly clear, low dropping down to around 64. We'll see a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Hot again, the high of 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clearing.
Surprise, surprise. It ain't Rico, it ain't Bach. It's Nick Sander, it's Jake Sorensen temporarily. Rico's on his way back. He had to go for some food to the office. We are live at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 40th and Old Cheney. Customer Appreciation Day. What does that mean, Nick? 59 cents.
I can't stop sneezing.
50. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're allergic to my presence.
I think so.
I show up and sit by you, start sneezing like you can't handle it. 59-cent boneless and traditional wings all day long. $5 domestic pitchers of beer. It does not get better than that, and it is a perfect place to be. Buffalo Wings and Rings, 40th and Old Cheney. What a spot.
What a spot. It is a good spot.
What a
good
spot.
crowd. Good crowd so far. We're just about to, well, we are past the noon hour now, but good crowd filing. And a lot of people have picked up wings. Some people we know as well.
Yes.
So
people are filing in still.
Even if you don't have time to necessarily sit down and
Take it to go.
hang out, take it to go, bring it back to the office. We've already had a couple of our good friends do that as well. So,
yes.
Jake, it's actually a good thing. And it's like fate that we got to talk today, because breaking news earlier today, the PGA Tour and Live Golf have decided to officially merge. And so there's the European Tour also in that category as well. What thoughts? Because I got to talk a little bit about it with the drive with AD. But what are your thoughts here?
I'm going to go. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned the European Tour. I want to go there for 1 second. Because think about this. There are guys on that tour that, like, they were so sad within the last month they had to, like, resign. Like Lee Westwood, longtime European Tour guy, was so sad he had to resign. Ian Poulter, same thing. The guys that were studs forever, like, they were legit depressed. I'm like, well, you took the money. It's your own fault.
Yeah.
Now, think about the guys think about Rory McIlroy, who was so adamantly, like, against Liv, talking crap on Greg Norman, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, all these guys who left. Went noticeably quiet the last 2 months in terms of criticism. And now today you wake up, at 8:30 a.m. we find out that, oh, hey, Live Golf and PGA Tour are actually going to unite. Yeah. So all this money that Brooks Koepka get, like, $200 million, and Mickelson get probably $200 million, they're the ones saying, well, we bet on ourselves and we won.
Exactly. Well, and that's the crazy thing. The crazier part about it for me, Jake, is that nobody on the PGA Tour had no clue. You have Colin Morikawa speaking out, who's currently
Let's
the
go to some tweets.
18th best player in the entire world right now. If you're the PGA Tour, the more that the guys speak out, the worse it is for you. The worse it is for you, because they're sitting here going, you told us this entire time that we weren't going to fold. We weren't going to cave in to what Live Golf was trying to get us to do. And so for that reason, we stuck with you guys, and now we're out of the loop.
Yep.
And there's a meeting, a player meeting, or later today at 4 p.m. And the PGA Tour commissioner will be there, answer any questions. But you have multiple golfers on the PGA Tour speaking out on how they were held in the dark.
Here's Colin Morikawa, who says, I love finding out morning news on Twitter, and everyone thought yesterday was the longest day in golf, referring to U.S. Open qualifiers, of course, but that's what he meant for that. But, yeah, that's one of your young stars who's won a couple majors now. Yeah. That's one of the faces of the tour at this point, not having a great year, but still. I got to think, Nick, so there's some – think about this. This might be over the top.
Okay.
There are a couple guys on the PGA Tour this year who are not playing very well. Justin Thomas is having a rough year. Colin Morikawa having a rough year. I'm not saying it's because they've considered about what the Live Tour guys got for money and their poor play has been indicative of that. I don't know if it has or not, but I'm just saying there could be a coincidence where Brooks Koepka wins a major. He's already getting all this. He's allowed to play in the majors. He's getting big money in Live Tour. Mickelson played well at the Masters, finished second in the Masters.
Nobody saw that coming.
There's been jokes about all these guys can't play 4 days. Well, they played pretty good 4 days in the majors, where maybe these guys have just had second thoughts all year long about not taking that money. And now today, there's definitely major second thoughts.
Well, and that's why I think if you're a PGA Tour player, you are even more frustrated with with the PGA Tour in that case, because we stuck with you guys, and when in reality we could have just waited and held out a year and a half, taken all that money, and then gotten back to right where we were. Right where we were. Because now all these guys that are part of Live or were a part of Live formerly, They just have to reapply for PGA Tour membership. And you're not going to tell Brooks Koepka no. You're not going to tell Phil Mickelson no.
No, once you
because
merge, you're taking it back.
Well, yes, exactly. You're going to unify this game, which is the entire goal for Liv, who basically just strong-armed the PGA Tour and did so successfully. Now, I'll ask you, because I asked AD the same question earlier today. What was the straw that broke the camel's back? Was it Phil getting second in the Masters? Was it Brooks winning the champion or the US Open?
PGA.
Or PGA, excuse me, yes, PGA. What was the straw that broke the camel's back where it was like, all right, you know what? These guys are valuable to our game.
Well, I think it's partly, I think it's a couple of things, Nick. It's not just that. It's also the level of player winning right now on the PGA Tour. You've got some guys that people haven't really heard of that have won some PGA Tour events, and then you see Brooks Koepka dominate in the PGA Championship. You know, there's thoughts that all these guys will just kind of lose their way with their shorts on. They're going to lose their competitive spirit, taking all this money. And that they were right. Last year, these guys did not play very well in the majors, and it was a big celebration for the PGA Tour. But then this year, two majors, a second place, a win. That's a big pain in the butt when you're trying to prove that you are the legitimate tour, and you've got guys that no one ever heard of winning tournaments, and some of your big names aren't playing in all these tourneys. So I would say Koepka winning kind of broke. It was not Mickelson. It was Koepka's victory and pretty much domination for 3 straight days. He didn't play well day 1, but days 2, 3, and 4, it was domination by Brooks Koepka.
Now, here, I mean, just getting your thoughts overall here. Once again, Live Golf and the PGA Tour decide to officially merge and unite golf one final time, right? And so in that, will we see, in your eyes, any potential changes in format? Because we saw in Live Golf Phil talked about it. He just tweeted out something, I think, back on in late May regarding, hey, listen, in Live Golf, it's perfect. It's a 3-day tournament. It's you play in 14 live events a year, and that leaves 34 weeks to get ready for 4 majors that you have to play in.
Yep.
Do we see a format change? Not necessarily in terms of how long tournaments are, but how many of these guys are required to play in every single year?
Yeah, I see. I don't know what the requirement is.
I mean, it's definitely more than 14.
Right. I mean, Tiger Woods plays, 4 tournaments a year? 5 tournaments, 5, 6 a year? I mean, does he just have a special exemption at this point?
Would he?
I guess. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, you will never see it where they do like Live, where they do 2 tournaments a month and then you have 2 weeks off. There's too much money involved with the TV rights, with the sponsorship rights, the commercials, all that stuff. There's just no way they will take weeks off of the tour. They won't do that. But I think that you might see a requirement change in terms of how many tourneys you have to play. But also, you know, the FedEx Cup is still in play. That's not going to change the FedEx Cup. You still have to get a certain amount of points to get in the FedEx Cup, and that's important. And there's money involved there. I know. I don't think you'll see the team concept stick around, though. The Live Golf has been pretty big and about, hey, you get double the pay of how you perform individually and also how you perform as a team. I don't think you'll see that stick around with the PGA Tour.
The payouts are going to definitely be interesting because now you're going to have this. I mean, the PGA Tour, I think, has had a wake-up call. Like, all right, the execs got to stop. Technically, despite being a nonprofit, which the PGA Tour is, the execs still take money, right? And that was the big reason, or a big fault of theirs initially, was that the execs are holding back too much and not giving the players a big enough of a purse. And so it's going to be interesting as we move forward here to see how the purse size changes.
Well, how much are the Saudis going to back this up now? And now it's combined. If the PGA apparently has accepted the Saudi money to even conglomerate here and get together, I just wonder how much I'm with you. How much the purse has changed and how much do Saudis contribute to that?
Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour commissioner. How thankful are you right now that you're not him?
Well, he makes a lot of money, so he's doing pretty well in that element.
But now
but he's pretty much a clown. You know, people think about commissioners, Nick, over the years who have been called clowns. Roger Goodell. I'm fine with Goodell. Goodell gets slammed. I'm okay with him.
I don't have an issue.
Like, Gary Bettman in NHL was getting slammed for years. He's not really talked about that much anymore. MLB,
Manfred's bad.
Manfred's bad.
Manfred needs to go.
But you don't hear it as much even this year. People accept that he's not very good. It's not something he's doing something dumb every day. This is Monahan now is the new clown. Like, he is officially the clown of commissioners of tours or any sort of association. Like, he is if you go back, there's been a lot of sharing on Twitter today and social media in general.
The memes have been great
of what he said even in the last 9 months, 9 months or a year about the PGA Tour, their stance forever going forward. They will never combine with LIV. They think that, like the families of 9/11, they brought that up in some capacity. Like, my gosh, dude, you have buried yourself in a hole you cannot escape. So, Jay Monahan has had a rough day.
Well, and it's gonna get even more difficult later today. 4 p.m. is that players meeting where Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour commissioner, will be there for questions. They sent out the letter to all the players saying, "Hey, if you have questions, I'll be there for questions to answer things. So let us know." And I'm sure there's going to be a lot. I want to read this text from I'm going to butcher his name, Sahith Tagala. Okay, how about that, Sahith Tagala?
Yep.
This was a text message he sent a breaking and trending news reporter for Sports Illustrated her name's Gabby Herzig. This is what he said. Just craziness. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but it's not going to be good enough reason for the utter lack of communication. I mean, how are top 10 players in the world finding out about it on Twitter? I'm biting my tongue till there's more stuff we hear. No way any of the players are going to be okay with this. I mean, that's a guy that has. I mean, has he won a tournament? He hasn't won a major.
He's been very close.
He's
to
been
winning
very
a couple
close.
Times.
He was on Full Swing. He was on the Netflix series Full Swing, so he got a little more well known through that channel. But I mean, you have a guy of his caliber, and that's not to knock him. He's still playing professionally. Who's upset about it, rightfully so. You can't imagine how JT, Jordan Spieth,
but Justin Thomas did tweet about this.
JT, Colin Morikawa, we already talked about, and so I mean, it's a great day if you're Phil Mickelson or Brooks Koepka, because you look back and go, hey, as you said when we started the segment, hey, I bet on myself, and we are a couple $100 million richer now because of it. But then you have other guys that had offers. Rory is the first one that comes to my mind. Or Tiger Woods, even, who already is a billionaire, had $1 billion offer, and he said no.
Yep.
And now he's going to win. I had to just hold out a year and a half and have a bad reputation for a year and a half to be $1 billion richer, and I would have been back right where I started.
Yeah.
So
I think that, again, they got criticized, but if you looked at the long game, we should have looked at this more long term. It was the PGA Tour needs those guys. They needed those stars. There's so many names that left that help TV ratings. I don't know, Nick, what the ratings are. That could be the telling part. Are the ratings so far down with guys that like an Austin Eckroat that no one knows? It's competing. Justin Suh, guys, no one. That's names versus DeChambeau and Koepka.
Well, and that
and
they
Mito
left.
Pereira left.
They left right after all that beef too between Brooks and Bryson, and it was like, okay, now the PGA Tour lost that ability to showcase the beef that everybody was paying attention to between Bryson and Brooks. And so it was crazy. It's just kind of crazy to think about, the LIV Golf. If you think back on it, it might've been a cool spectacle to see in person, but on TV, I didn't seek out the LIV Golf tournaments.
No,
it was hard to find.
I
on
like
the
watching
CW
the
networks.
highlights. And there is some funky stuff to what they're doing. I mean, if you watch, like, they would show on the greens the putting tracer. It gave me a migraine.
Yeah.
Stuff, when they showed them, like, there's too much stuff. Like, I know they're going for kind of the Tiger tracer from back in the day when you were putting on the green. I get that. But what they did was give people a migraine because it was way too much.
We do have some breaking news, and I feel like this is a good spot to get rid to take a break, and we'll talk about it.
To get rid of Jake, what you said?
To get rid of Jake. Rico will bring me in. Nebraska baseball head coach Will Bolt has announced that Nebraska baseball has parted ways with pitching coach Jeff Christie. So Jeff Christie is no longer on Husker baseball's staff. Will Bolt just announced that Nebraska has parted ways with pitching coach Jeff Christie. So pitcher and catcher coach Jeff Christie, obviously a former player as well. And that's one domino that does fall on the staff for Husker baseball. So we're live, Buffalo Wings and Rings, 40th and Old Cheney. Customer Appreciation Day, 59-cent wings, $5 pitchers. Come out, got a good crowd on hand. We'll talk about Husker baseball. Rico will join me. Jake, appreciate it as always, man.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back. Ticket Water Cooler, 93.7 The Ticket.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Save money on energy-efficient equipment with the LES Sustainable Energy Program. Nearly half of the financial incentives are still available for qualifying projects. View incentives and learn more at les.com/SEP.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the ALLO promise. ALLO Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with ALLO. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies this morning with afternoon cloud cover and a very slim chance of a pop-up shower. It will be a bit warm. We'll top out near 91, south winds at 10. Overnight mainly clear, low dropping down to around 64. We'll see a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Hot again, the high of 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Ticket Water Cooler. It is Rico. It is I. I am back. I had to drop off some delicious buffalo wings and rings, some wings and some fries out to the guys running the board. Shout out to Bach. Shout out to Austin for running the board back to the station for us. You guys are amazing, and I hope you enjoy the delicious wings that I dropped off for you. We are out at 40th and Old Cheney at Buffalo Wings and Rings for Customer Appreciation Day. Again, get on out here for 59-cent wings all day, boneless, traditional, however you want to have. You can have your little nuggets. You can have your actual wings down here at Buffalo Wings and Rings for 59 cents per wing. $5 pitchers of beer all day. If I wasn't working, I would indulge, but I am working, so I will not.
Oh no!
I mean, no. I mean, like the whole pitcher.
Okay,
I mean, like I would. I mean, like I would. No, I mean, like I would drink the whole pitcher myself.
Shout out to David from Renew. Shout out to Renew Auto. He got me a red beer.
Delicious.
And
sounds
red
fantastic.
Red beers are good.
Actually, so
I'm pro red beer.
Never had one.
Jake is anti. I am pro.
I've never had a red beer.
Well, there's.
Is it just beer and like tomato juice? I don't know.
It's beer and tomato juice.
Is it red dye number 4?
No.
I don't know exactly what's in the red beer.
It's not, and it's not like the green beers, right?
No.
You do taste a little tomato juice.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, you can try.
Just tomato juice just tastes like tomato soup, like what you have with your
no,
grilled
it's like
cheese.
V8.
That's not terrible.
No,
I might have to try. I might have to try one. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
If you don't like it, I can always drink.
Again, this is the Ticket Water Cooler out here at Buffalo Wings Rings. I am Rico. I am joined by Nick. And right before they got off that first segment with Jake Sorensen, Nick had a little bit of breaking news. Nick, if you want to keep going with that.
So Nebraska baseball head coach Will Bolt has officially announced that he has parted ways with Nebraska's pitching and catching coach Jeff Christie. Obviously, Christie, a former Husker himself, has been on the staff since 2019. Will Bolt said this: Jeff and I have a close relationship dating back to our College World Series run in 2005. He played a key role for the last 4 seasons and helped us earn a Big Ten championship and NCAA regional final appearance in 2021. I wish Jeff and his family nothing but the best moving forward. And it's got to be tough here, Rico. I mean, from a human standpoint, right? To if you're Will Bolt, I mean, you had to let go of one of your teammates. You had to let go of one of your guys that was part of history at Nebraska, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after, unfortunately, 4 poor seasons of pitching, or not 4 poor, but especially these last 2 poor seasons of pitching,
Yeah, just not the greatest.
You have to make some changes, and I give credit to Will Bolt for this because. In a way, he's adapting to he's doing what needs to be done, not only to save his job, but also to get Nebraska baseball back on the right path.
I mean, how many times have you heard about coaches who end up getting let go, head coaches who end up getting let go because they have some friends or some close acquaintances on staff that they just can't seem to get rid of, whether they're doing well or not. And then those head coaches ended up losing their job, and years later it comes out that, there was pressure from the athletic department or something to get rid of. I'm not saying that that's what happened here, but you hear about that with coaches where athletic departments were saying, hey, we need to improve. This seems to be slacking behind on the team. So how about we make a change here? And the head coaches are just like, no, this is my guy. We'll get it figured out. Years down the line, it doesn't get figured out. The head coach ends up losing his job. This has got to be a very tough. This was not an easy decision by Will Bolt. Like you said, they were teammates. They're very close with each other. So, going up to one of your friends and just saying like, hey man, I know we've been working together for this long. I know we've known each other for this long, but it's just not working out right now. We're going to have to go in a different direction. I can't imagine having that conversation.
And that is part of the business. Like you get into this coaching business, and we've talked to Coach Bill Bush about it before. Like that's just part of the business is you understand that it is a results driven business. And if you aren't producing results, then you're not going to be in the business. And so I did the job of looking up just Nebraska's pitching numbers last season in 2022 or 2023. 2022 is eerily similar as well. Nebraska's 2 starters, Jace Kaminska and Emmett Olson. Emmett Olson may very well get drafted this year, but Kaminska had a 4.13 earned run average, while Emmett Olson had a 4.50 in 15 appearances. And when you look throughout the bullpen as well, that was the one big thing holding Nebraska baseball back this year. They had the guys offensively. They had maybe some questionable approaches at the plate, but they had the guys offensively, and Bryce Matthews and Max Anderson, to be soon MLB draft picks.
Yep.
Right. And you have some transfer portal help from Charlie Fisher out of the DH spot. You have Casey Burnham as well. You have the guys offensively that could take you to a regional in the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, you had to score 12, 14, 15 runs per game to secure yourself a win. And sometimes, as we saw in the first series of the year against San Diego, sometimes 16 runs wasn't
Sometimes
even
it just wasn't enough, and even then you're scoring however many runs, but then you get back into that bullpen and you start trying to hold things down from a lead that you've gotten. And the pitching in the bullpen was a little shaky at times as well. And it's kind of funny because you talk about that great offense and the lackluster pitching, but in the Big Ten tournament, it was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
The pitchers stepped up and were doing exactly what you would hope to see them doing all season long. And then the hitting just kind of the bats fell asleep. So unfortunately, at the time when you needed both of them to show up the most, they just flip-flopped. One was great, one was bad, and it was the opposite of how it had been all season. So it's strange to say, you're probably going to have a pitcher drafted this season. You had a pitcher drafted 2 years ago. You've had some solid guys here and there these last few years, but the pitching was still suspect.
Well, and I mean, you look up and down, and ERA is not the only – I don't want to say – and make it sound like ERA is the end-all, be-all when you're looking at pitching statistics. Sometimes it's velocity and whether guys are on throwing programs and taking the right, the necessary steps moving forward. Age and wear and tear on the arms plays a factor. I mean, Kyle Perry is a great example of, guy through 2 Tommy John surgeries and now ends up, he didn't necessarily lose velocity, but maybe just lost some of his effectiveness. But you look throughout the bullpen, and you have, unfortunately, Michael Garza with a 7 ERA, Kyle Perry with a 5.46 earned run average, Jackson Braca with a 4.5 earned run average, Will Walsh 4.3 earned run average. There was no shutdown guy.
No.
Shea Shanneman, what looked the best we've seen of him in the last about year and a half in that Big Ten tournament. In the later stages and extra innings of that game against Maryland. In the Big Ten tournament, but unfortunately it still wasn't enough. And you go down the line, and Shea Shanneman had himself a 3.0 earned run average in 26 appearances for the Cornhuskers. Corbin Hawkins, who just retired from baseball, for whatever reason, had a 2.23 earned run average, had the lowest on the team. At 2.23.
You can survive with a couple of guys with those ERAs in the 4, but like you said, you've got to have at least 1, maybe 2, even if they're not shut down, just guys that you can go to in a pinch and trust to get things done. And unfortunately, not saying that there wasn't any trust, but it was just, again, a shaky performance from the bullpen and from the starters all season. And for the past couple of years, again, you've had a couple of guys drafted. You've had some all-stars, some really solid players on this roster coming from the pitching staff. But unfortunately, in order to keep your job, you're going to need a little bit more than that. You're going to need a little bit more than 4 in 4 years?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think when you continue to kind of just look at what's the future for Nebraska baseball? Pitching's going to have to get better, and
you can't rely on two guys hitting 20 home runs.
No, well, and frankly, Nebraska next season, they're not going to be able to replace Max Anderson and Bryce Matthews next season. Obviously, Dylan Carey is going to slide over into that shortstop role for Bryce Matthews, but Max Anderson's and Bryce Matthews, as we saw with Spencer Schwellenbach, don't necessarily grow on trees. And as we discussed yesterday, looking at the regionals, looking at SEC baseball, this is an SEC country, and the Big Ten
SEC country struggling.
It's going to be a tough. It's tough to draw those guys to Nebraska and to the Big Ten Conference.
I mean,
Max Anderson somewhat fell into Nebraska's lap. Now, I don't want to take that away from the guys recruiting him.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Like the thing is, every time you say that, you're not taking anything away from him. He did. He fell into their lap. He was not supposed to be here. He was going to Texas A&M, and then COVID happened.
Yeah,
that's really all it is. You got lucky.
Yeah. So anyway, but and has an incredible Freshman of the Year campaign where he's nominated and awarded Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And such, but now those guys are going to go, and Casey Burnham is now gone, and we saw like what happened, unfortunately, when you lose a good number of experienced hitters. We saw it, I suppose in 2022 now, after that 2021 regional team kind of graduated, we saw Joe Acker move on, we saw Jackson Hallmark move on, obviously Spencer Schwellenbach, Roscom, those guys all moved on. Yes, Mojo Hagee. When you lose a ton of experienced guys, sometimes there can be a little bit of a lapse or a little bit of a tough bridge to overcome that very next season. Now, there are over 1,800 players in the transfer portal right now in college baseball.
Good golly.
Nebraska's contributed to a couple of those. I'm going to be surprised if the attrition is over or is not over.
I would expect we're good.
I would expect some more stuff to come down the pipe here, but same story can be said for Nebraska. Bring in the necessary talent, find a guy. Now Will Bolt's going to make a new hire. He and Rob Childress have a long list of connections and potential targets. Maybe even Rob Childress slides into that role. We don't know what happens, but in that, there's a way where Nebraska can come out of this on top and have and build off of defense-wise. Build off of a disappointing 2022 and 2023.
You're gonna have to go into the transfer portal, see what you can get. You have some pieces on this roster, as you said before, some pieces that are going to be able to contribute. It's going to be hard to replace Max and Bryce and Schwellenbach, but to get some guys currently on the roster to take, at least a half of a step up, a single step up. As you said, Dylan Carey's sliding over to shortstop.
Yeah,
sliding over to shortstop for Dylan Carey. Hopefully that helps him in on the defensive end and in his approach to batting, whatever it helps him with. And you can have somebody go to that third base spot, somebody else come up on that second base area. And if they're not already on the roster, go into that pool of 1,800 players and pull somebody who, again, you don't have to grab somebody who's an all Big Ten level right away. You can get somebody maybe with a couple of years on that you see has a high ceiling that you can bring in here, has a solid year, and then takes a step up the next season. But, and this isn't what I believe, but to have another disappointing season next year is not something that you are. I don't know if you can afford it. I'm not saying that it's going to be all done after next season, but to have another disappointing season next year, miss another regional, is going to be a little more detrimental to this team than this season was.
Well, I would also say, and Will Bolt knows this obviously, but for the listeners out there, JUCO ranks are a great place to find guys.
They've been going in the JUCO ranks. They're how many players are they losing this year? Like 12?
Yeah, 12 to 14.
12 to 14 players this year that you're losing. But they've brought in what seems like, 100 players. Yeah. And it seemed like every other week they were getting 3 people committing to Nebraska.
Well, and that's the thing is with JUCO, JUCO's a great outlet for guys that just love the game, right? JUCO's not pretty. You're not getting the D1 or even D2 amenities. It's tarp poles at 6 a.m. It's raking the field after practice. I mean, it is not.
They're doing everything.
It is not sexy to play in JUCO baseball. And those are the guys that just want to be down there just to play baseball. And that's where like a guy like Casey Burnham, that's where Cole Evans came from as well, was the JUCO ranks. Cole Evans was your third best hitter batting average wise, hitting .305, had 4 home runs and and 27 RBIs in this, and he hit towards the bottom part of the lineup, but you need those guys just as much as you need the Casey Burnhams, just as much as you need the Jackson Hallmarks and such, as you need to have a way, especially in the Big Ten, just a complete top to bottom order. You can't, I mean, you saw sometimes with other programs, I suppose, where their first 3, 4, 5 guys would be their best hitters. You don't want to have to come up in the bottom of an order towards the end of a game and say, man, it's just too bad we don't. It's just too bad we don't have our 1, 2, 3 hitters up, or our 5, 6, 7. Like, you need to have as much of a complete batting order as you can. And Will talked about that after they got eliminated in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, you don't want to come up in the top of the ninth with 7, 8, 9 and just sitting there thinking, man, if one of them can get on and we can get to the top of the order, we'll be looking a lot more pretty. And
unless that's your identity, where you take on that 2021 approach, where maybe the bottom half of the order wasn't as talented, and they weren't as gritty over pretty.
Yeah, they weren't as talented, but they were still really good.
Well, you still found ways to get on base, whether that's drawing a walk, and that's one thing that's been disappointing is sometimes the approaches haven't been the greatest, swinging at balls outside the zone. And it's easier said than done. I mean, I'm not trying to say I could do better, but it's that.
Why don't you go out there and try?
That's where we got that gritty over pretty mantra that really was adopted in 2021, and teams since then have tried to adopt it, haven't really been able to, though.
It's just that not only the mantra, not only saying that, but actually living that life, actually doing that, and being willing to go up there and, as you said at Pius, sacrificing your at bat and bunting somebody over, being willing to be that guy to just help somebody else get in a position to score. And look, in a sport like baseball, you can look at some freshmen coming in and they might be able to contribute at a decently high level. I understand, the jump from high school to college in whatever sport is a big jump. But in a sport like baseball, it's not like, football or basketball where everybody's going to be just much bigger than you. It's kind of a one-on-one thing. You and the pitcher are going at it, or you and the hitter are going at it, or you're waiting out in the field for a ball to come towards you. It's not really, I need to put on 30 pounds of muscle to compete in the Big Ten in baseball.
Well, you're going to have a role. Everybody's going to have a role, whether that's a freshman who comes in as a pinch runner in the late stages of the game and maybe swipes a bag, is able to change the game by 90 feet at a time, right? And then you're going to have guys that come in and have really good plate discipline and maybe in the later stages of a game as well be able to come in. But as much as that is important, Wilbolt talked about it at the end of their season in the last press conference, just a complete roster, right? You got to be able to give guys time off. You got to be able to give your best players like Max Anderson, like Bryce Matthews, time off and days to rest. Because if you do want to become that regional team year in and year out, that's going to be a grind. That's going to be just a mental and physical grind on some of your guys. And if you're trying to get Bryce Matthews in this case, who hit 20 bombs this year, or Max Anderson, who hit 21 home runs, you want him to play every single day. Obviously you do, but you got to give him some rest. You got to give him some time off.
You got to have the ability to let them rest, because you don't want to get into, a last series and into conference play and have one of your best players hurt.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Well, and last thing before we go to break, I suppose, it's just you don't want to chalk up a loss. Not that you're chalking up a loss, but you don't want to basically go out there and say, well, this is our best effort, but it's not nearly as good as what we could do with those guys in here. You don't want to drop off, such as Nebraska football when they go to a backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's not great. But that's going to do it for this second segment here on the Ticket Water Cooler. When we get back, I've got a couple of Women's College World Series stats I want to throw at you. Oklahoma, Florida State going at each other tomorrow for Game 1 of the Women's College World Series. Oklahoma going for 52 straight wins, sitting with 1 loss on the season earlier in the season to Baylor. Florida State has 9 losses. A rematch of the 2021 Women's College World Series. We'll see what's going on tomorrow down in Oklahoma City.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation Team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Join us on Tuesday, June 6th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 40th and Old Cheney for Customer Appreciation Day. Enjoy 59-cent wings all day and your favorite sports talk show hosts on the air from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come hang out with us for Customer Appreciation Day on Tuesday, June 6th at the 40th and Old Cheney Buffalo Wings and Rings. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Save money on energy-efficient equipment with the LES Sustainable Energy Program. Nearly half of the financial incentives are still available for qualifying projects. View incentives and learn more at les.com/SEP.
Spring is here, and Acres has special financing on all John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Get your yard looking great and use John Deere's wide selection of attachments to landscape your property to perfection. And for a limited time, with a purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Acres, solutions for every field.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism. You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hey Lincoln, this is Ramel Lloyd. I'm from the Boys and Girls Club. I've got some exciting news I want to share today for our youth. We're having a Junior NBA camp coming up, June 12th through June 30th. The times are 11 a.m. to 4:15. We're going to have some exciting games, some great speakers, great guests. It's going to be a great time. So we want to see you out there. You can find the information at www.lincolnbgc.org. www.lincolnbgc.org. Full scholarships are available, so make sure you come out and check us out.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
You mentioned the Auburn Regional between Penn and Southern Miss. How many fans? Plainsman Park seats 4,096.
I get 1,200.
1,200. I'm going
Yeah.
to take the over slightly.
I don't know how well either one of these fan bases travel.
You can't imagine that Penn travels all that well.
I don't. There's parents.
There's not 1,200 of them.
No, there's
not
not.
1,200 parents.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Final segment of the Ticket Water Cooler here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Thank you to everyone who is showing up at Buffalo Wings and Rings right now here at 40th and Old Cheney. Customer Appreciation Day. Get out here, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to stop in and you don't have to stay here and eat your wings. It'd be great if you did, but just order some wings online. Come get your wings. Pick them up. They're delicious. You'll love it. You will not regret it. Plus, 59-cent wings all day.
Those s'mores funnel fries are delicious.
They're so good. Obviously they're a little older. They got to Vershawn as we started the show. They were delicious hot, and guess what? They're still delicious cold.
Yeah, they're good.
They're still fantastic. Also, if you do come in here and you stop in and you sit down for a little bit, you can get a $5 pitcher of beer.
That's it?
$5 for a whole pitcher of beer.
Sounds
59-cent wings and $5 for a pitcher of beer.
Sounds like there's a lot of people in here who need to buy a pitcher of beer.
And guess what? We are going to be here. All of our shows are going to be live all the way till 6 p.m. So come in here. Come hang out with us. DP's here. Jake's here for a little bit longer. Bella's here. Nick is here. I'm here. We're all having a great time. It's fantastic.
We're all here.
And so, on that note, speaking of being here, Oklahoma's been here before. Florida State has been here before.
Not to Buffalo Wings Rings.
Not to Buffalo Wings Rings. I'm talking the Women's College World Series championship game
Yeah.
down in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Best of three.
Best of three series going on between the 1 and the 3 seed. Oklahoma Sooners 59-1, Florida State 58-9.
I'm not sure if you saw this yet, Rico. The NCAA announced today that they're going to implement the 8-run rule in the championship series prior to tomorrow, prior to tomorrow's game. The 8-run rule in college softball was non-existent. Now it's going to be going forward.
Interesting.
In the championship series.
Yeah, in the championship series at least. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, if you're asking yourself, how did these two teams get here? Let me tell you what happened. And this is just in the Women's College World Series because I'm not going to go through the whole season.
Okay.
Look, Oklahoma's won 51 straight games. I don't think you don't need to know how they got here. They won 51 straight. Florida State doing fantastic this season as well. But on the first day, their game ones, both of these teams 3-0 so far in the Women's College World Series.
Nice.
No losses, perfect 3-0. Oklahoma takes down Stanford 2-0. Jordy Ball started that game, went 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts.
My goodness.
Florida State then follows that up with a shutout of Oklahoma State on that first day. Sandercock went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and then Leonard came in and shut the door. They only, as she's pitched 1 inning and had 1 strikeout. They hit 2 home runs in that one, shelling Kelly Maxwell, who was one of the better pitchers in softball last year and this year. She only lasted 2 innings, gave up 2 runs, 2 earned runs, only struck out 3, walked 2, gave up a home run. In game 2 for both of these teams, Oklahoma, 5 innings, run ruled Tennessee 9-0. Jordy Ball again starts that one, only goes 3 2/3, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, struck out 3. Florida State takes down Washington. They had 3 pitchers in that one. Their starting pitcher only went 1 1/3, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk. And then in game 3, Oklahoma, a little bit of a scare from Stanford. Oklahoma was down 2-0 after the first inning to the Stanford Cardinal. Got a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the first and then a solo shot to open up the bottom of the second to tie things up. As the game went on, they took a lead, ended up winning 4-2 against Stanford. And later that day, Florida State takes down Tennessee 5-1 in a game in which they hit 3 home runs. 2 solo shots and a 2-run home run in the 6th inning for Florida State to take down Tennessee 5-1. These two teams meeting up in this championship game with Oklahoma averaging 8.4 runs in the Women's College World Series and Florida State averaging 6.3. Seminoles hold a 30-0 record in 30 games where they have tallied 6+ runs. So what you're going to be looking at is a pitching matchup.
Yeah.
Jordy Ball, I assume, is going to be in the circle for Oklahoma for game 1.
Yeah.
And as we went over a couple of days ago or last week, she has like a 1.0 0 something ERA.
It's down to just 1.00 now because
it's crazy.
She was at 1.03, and then she put out the scoreless performance in her most recent game, and it sunk down to a 1.00 earned run average.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's just crazy. So the Sooners, I mentioned the Seminoles were 30-0 in 30 games where they've tallied 6 runs, 6 or more. Oklahoma's 43-0 when putting up just 4.
That's unbelievable.
Just 4 runs.
43-0 when they're putting up 4 runs.
Just 4 or more.
And that's even more impressive because obviously you have in softball, it's a little bit of obviously it's harder to hit it out of the it's harder to hit a home run, shorter bases, shorter dimensions on the field, shorter dimensions on the wall. I'm not saying it's any less difficult than it is in baseball, but I'm saying it makes it actually more difficult. I actually think
everything's faster.
I think Division I softball is one of the hardest sports to play. I mean, you look at the ability to with a rise ball, with a drop ball, with pitchers, especially at this level, it makes what they're doing and what they're able to do. If you're Oklahoma and Florida State in this case, it's makes what they're able to do game in and game out just that much more incredible.
It is ridiculous. And if you want to watch that, again, that game is going to go away. That game is going to be on ESPN tomorrow at 7 p.m. Florida State Seminoles 58-9 versus the Oklahoma Sooners 59-1. Papillion La Vista Monarch. Jordy Ball more than likely in the circle for the Oklahoma Sooners. So a little bit of a local flair to that one.
You ever been to the USA softball stadium?
I have not. I really want to. I really want to at some point. Me and the wife want to go down there and catch a Women's College World Series at some point.
There you go.
Don't have to stay for the whole thing, but just catch a couple of games. Maybe see some legends.
Stay for the whole game, not the entire tournament.
Obviously, not the entire tournament. Stay for a whole game, not the entire tournament. That would be really awesome if I could do that. But
yeah.
I'll get down there at some point. But that's going to do it for the Ticket Water Cooler here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Rico, let me tell you what we're going to talk about.
What are we going to talk about?
Let me tell
next?
the folks.
Let them know.
CBS paid $350 million this year to air 7 Big Ten football games. The slate, not that great. So obviously it's going to pay dividends later in their TV contract. But here in 2023, CBS paid $350 million to air just 7 Big Ten football games.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's good stuff.
That's going to do it for the Ticket Water Cooler Happy Hour. Up next with Nick and myself. We will talk to you in a couple of minutes, actually. Join us on Tuesday, June 6th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 40th and Old Cheney for Customer Appreciation Day. Enjoy 59-cent wings all day and your favorite sports talk show hosts on the air from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come hang out with us for Customer Appreciation Day on Tuesday, June 6th at the 40th and Old Cheney Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Spring is here, and Acres has special financing on all John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Get your yard looking great and use John Deere's wide selection of attachments to landscape your property to perfection. And for a limited time, with a purchase of a new John Deere